Hello, 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 hello. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope that you're staying safe, that you're staying sane, and that you're staying out of trouble and keeping warm wherever in the country it is that you are watching this video from. As you know, my name is Mo Malele, ISFAP brand ambassador, content producer, student community connector, etc., etc., etc. But anyways, enough about me. I want to talk to you guys today. Actually, over the next couple of days, I will be talking to you guys about a very interesting topic, that of money. Specifically, we'll be covering budgeting, saving, investing, and most importantly, or most excitingly, the generation of wealth, or let me say wealth generation, basically creating a lot of money. And then we'll also talk a bit about how to cultivate better financial habits or better relationships with money. And what are the key success factors that have helped a lot of successful people, a lot of millionaires and billionaires make their money? But before we get to all of that nice and juicy stuff, let's start very simple and let's talk about budgeting, because this is probably one of the hardest things to do and something that a lot of us struggle with. Particularly sticking to a budget, like putting one together and then sticking to it and being disciplined with a budget is often what a lot of us struggle with, myself included. And so I'm going to give you like some quick fire tips. I'm going to try and keep this video as short, sweet, to the point, but also informative as possible. So let's get stuck in. Here are some tips that I have in terms of budgeting, what has worked for me, what has not worked for me, and what I've seen work for a lot of people who have actually been able to generate, a lot of financial success. Number one is that you have to know what's coming in terms of expenses, in terms of income. So what's coming in terms of income and what's going out in terms of expenses, and know why that is happening. So it's not only enough to know that I'm getting in 1,000 Rand and my expenses are 500 Rand, but it's also important to know where is that income coming from and where is it going? What are you spending your money on? So know the what, know the how, but also know the why. And the reason the why is so important is because it allows you to know what the drivers of your spending habits are on a month-to-month basis. So you know where you can save, where you can cut, where you can eliminate, where you can, find efficiencies, reinvest and spend a lot better. So know, and it's very important for you to know the detail. In terms of your income, you must know how much is coming from, ISFAP or from your bursary, or your scholarship, how much is coming from your parents if you're getting money from your parents, how much is coming from, any side gigs or side hustles you have, whether you're a tutor, a mentor, or anything else that you're doing that is bringing in some income. So, always know where the money's coming in from. And then also know where it's going. So how much you're spending on food, how much you're spending on books or on like junk, on clothing, on, I don't know, maybe you might have a Netflix or Showmax subscription or whatever it is that you're doing. Always equally important to know, where that money is also going. Number two is eliminate any fat. Eliminate any unnecessary expenses to your budget. And the reason, and step one will help you do this, because once you've looked at what you're spending your money on and where that money is going, you can then find, the places where you can actually save and spend less, and cut out the things that are really just a waste of money. And this is important because when you know what you're wasting money on and you can eliminate those things, then it really helps you to be able to have more money to save. And we'll talk about this, in the next session or in the next video where we talk about saving. But basically the principle is that in order for you to be able to save money and invest money and build wealth, you first have to, have money that you're not spending on living expenses or on like day-to-day, month-to-month expenses. So eliminating any fats from your budget allows you to have money to be able to save and invest. Number three is do it frequently. The frequency of budgeting is as important as, what you're putting into your budget. Budgeting is an ongoing activity. It's not like you do it once and then, that's it forever and always. It's I generally recommend you do budgeting at the beginning of the month when you prep for the coming month, so you know what to expect and what to plan for. Then you do it during the month, so you track everything that's going in and going out and making sure that it is according to plan. And the tracking is very important as well, hey, because that's where you pick up where you've been overcharged, where you've been undercharged, or where you pick up elements of fraudulent transactions on your account. So during the month you're tracking, and then again at the end of the month you're looking back at the previous month to see what has happened and whether or not it happened the way that you had planned it, and then you start again planning for the next month. And so that's sort of the cycle that you would do on a monthly basis. Number 4 is use banking apps and any financial tool that works for you that you can find out there to help you do all of this tracking. So doing budgeting shouldn't be a cumbersome thing that is painful, laborious, or that like you're like, oh, gotta do this. And it's like, it's taking up more time and energy than it needs to. Nowadays, all of our banks have banking apps, and all of those banking apps have ways you can track your monthly and day to day, week to week expenditure. You can track it. There are ways that you can budget and put your budget into the app, and then be able to compare it, to like be able to compare the plan to the actuals on a monthly basis. So there's no need for you to have like big ass Excel sheets, or to be even overwhelmed by the exercise, because there's so many financial tools out there that you can find to help you do this. And start with your banking app, because that's where you're banking, that's where you're swiping, that's where you're withdrawing money. So those transactions are already linked and are easy for you to be able to pull, from your app or from your statements. And then lastly, number 5 is have secondary accounts. Those really do help. So you know how you can have like a main account where the account is under Mo Malele, and that's the main savings or the main check account or the transactional account. And now often with banks, what they're able to offer you now is that under that main account, you can have a secondary account that is a savings account, or it's a fixed deposit account, or it's an account that overall is linked to the main account, but it's separate. It's got a separate, account number or identification number. You can put money in there and so forth. And what that helps is that it helps you be able to separate all the money you need to survive that month. So let's say you're getting 1,000 Rand a month, for example. I don't know how much people are getting, but let's say you're getting 1,000 Rand a month. That goes into your main account. But your budget is telling you that in order for you to survive every month, you only need to spend 600 Rand. So then what you do is you keep 600 Rand in your main account and take the other 400 into your secondary account, from where you then can dispense it into any other savings or anything else that you want to put it in. But then what that does, an important thing that it does, is that it ring fences the money that is going to be spent versus the money that is not going to be spent. As opposed to only having it in one account, and then you're swiping, you're withdrawing, things are going off of your account, and before you know it, you spent everything that you have. Or before you know it, you spent more than you really needed to, but only because you thought you had it to spend. And this works, it will work very well for you. Secondary accounts are amazing. I use them a lot. I have them on a personal level. I have them on a company level. A lot of adults, working people have secondary accounts to help them manage their money and their spend. Because then every time you want to spend more than what you were allotted to do, you actually have to go into a banking app and then transfer money from the secondary account to the primary account. And that act then switches on your brain to be like, but I shouldn't be doing this though. What did I do this month that is making me spend more than my 600 Rand, which is a comfortable amount for me to spend? Why am I having now to dip into savings or dip into the secondary to fund the primary? So that will definitely help you guys a lot with that. So I hope you find that helpful in terms of just helping you guys start with your budgeting. Please feel free to drop comments, drop questions, DM me, email me if you want more information. Please feel free to to hit me up and ask me. Budgeting is the fundamental of generating wealth, which is why I wanted to start with this particular topic. If you can't get this right, it's very difficult for you to generate any kind of wealth or to even just have any kind of money or savings if you can't put together a budget and then stick to that budget on a regular basis, which is week to week, month to month, over an extended period of time. But yeah, we'll chat later. Watch out for more videos as we continue to talk more about money and, try to give you guys more tools and skills to manage your money better and to generate wealth, which I am pretty sure is top priority for a lot of you. So yeah, let me know what you think of the video. Drop comments, like, share, and stay tuned for more stuff. Deuces.